In this video from Polish Pala Rifle Academy, we are going to focus on two rifles tech. This is the fastest tech that you can do with Pala rifles, and in my previous video about four rifles tech, we learned a little bit, how to handle harass, but if you feel more confident, this video is just for you, because now you will see the power of tier 2 timing with rifles, and you want to get into your power spike early, so you need to tech faster. You won't get access to early arcane tower, to early lumber mill, but it's okay in some matchups versus Nidalf mostly, and recently I have been trying it versus undead, and I really like it. Because when your opponent has expansion and you wait with your tier 2 tower spike, the push gets really ugly, gets really complicated. And I'm not saying that you should always do it versus undead, but you should definitely try. What makes 2 rifle tech special is that you cannot creep with militia your first camp, because we need a lot of lumber early. So in order to creep that camp efficiently, you need to use the altar trick that I will explain soon. And after your tech is started, you can creep with militia another camp, you can make an arcane tower, you can make the lumber mill. It depends of the flow of the game. But one thing is sacred in this build order: to tech extremely fast. And now I will explain the altar trick. We want to tech extremely fast, so creeping with militia is not an option. We need our wood early. So, in order to creep the first camp, we have only Paladin and one Rifleman, and it's not much. So, if we are going to creep the first camp, straight away we'll take a lot of damage, like Paladin will be on half HP. So better solution exists. You can say, "Oh, Saul, just pull the camp and fight it really slow." It's okay, it's better, but even better solution exists, and it was discovered by Mr. Lemes. Shout out to him. And the entire idea is very simple. You just build your altar in a position when there is only small opening between altar and trees. You just leave one tile between them. Is a perfect spot to pull, bait, and trap a melee unit that you surround with Paladin, Rifleman, Altar, and trees. And it will reduce a lot of damage taken. And the idea is very simple. Basically, you go with the Rifleman, marked with the blue color. You attack creep once, and be careful to don't get ensnared. But the idea is you just go to the normal range, you attack, and you just move back instantly. If the camp has like 2 troll that can ensnare you, it's a little bit more tricky, but don't worry about it now. I will make a video about this entire idea soon. So you attack the creep once, and you go to your position with the Rifleman, and it's marked with the blue arrows. Basically, you want to place your Rifleman at the end of in a circle that is closer to your base, and the Rifleman will just wait there for the melee creep to approach. So the melee creep will aggro on you, and he will follow you. And then you just wait with your Paladin, but you need to be very patient, because if you aggro creep with your Paladin, it won't go to the red circle where it will be trapped between. So wait with your Paladin patiently, and when the creep will goes to its destination, you just surround it and you start dealing damage, and the other monster usually just goes back and doesn't attack you. And this is also a good position to be in, because we are doing 2 farm tech versus Night Elf, and this position is very good versus Demon Hunter Harass, because you can just go back to the safety of your base. And it's not good versus Orc, of course, because Orc arrives much faster, and you cannot just creep versus Orc like that. In this game, I'm playing versus Undead. I don't really know, and I decided to try two rifle tech that I'm going to show you. As you can see on the right of the stream, we have some visual help for you to follow the build order. It's very similar to 4 rifles tech. The beginning is exactly the same, but you just need to remember to not make a third farm and tech really fast. Of course, you now know that we are going to use the altar trick and we need to change our base layout a little bit. And in this case, we are just going to build our altar in a specific way. So let's go to the video. We are putting, as usual, 4 peasants to gold and 1 to wood. And actually, in my last video, I made a mistake because the 5th peasant his position should be like to the closest tree. It doesn't matter where he is exactly because he's not going to build any buildings and he just gather his 30 wood as fast as he can, so he should go to the closest tree. Now we are planning our altar position. We should leave 2 tiles so we can prepare our little trap for the melee creep, and we continue with the first farm that will stop at around 120 HP. Now we start blacksmith, we make the barracks, and we are playing versus undead, so closing our base is not really important. I will still do it because I like to have small opening to the base, but remember that you cannot close your base from ghouls. Now we have 5 peasants on gold, and we are doing this trick with the second farm to make it faster, and now I did it in time, so you will see that we should not have a bottleneck for our first rifleman. We have 5 peasants on gold, and now we are going to send all of them on wood, and in this variation of the build we'll have exactly the same amount of peasants gathering wood. We just wait with our third rifleman because we have to wait with the third farm. And it's really simple. You just gather wood, and you need to remember to not make the third farm. Okay, what about the rifleman? He will be training soon. And remember to set up the rally points. And what is important with altar trick, remember to not go too close to the creep with your paladin. And we are not going to pull any militia. Okay, and now we just gather wood, but we have a lot of peasants, and not pulling militia really makes a difference. Now this rifleman is going to pull the camp. On this map in particular, it's not like super efficient, super good, because this guy is just really small, but we still do the trick, and 2 Scar Trapper should stop attacking us really soon. As we can see, I didn't close the surround, but this melee creep is like getting loose. He's not attacking us, he's a little bit bugged. And as we can see, our damage taken on the Paladin is really low. Now we can just finish the camp. As we can see, we started tech extremely early on 24 foot, and now we are power building the farm. Human has the ability to power build the farm, and this is exactly the build order. Now we have a lot of options to do, because before we can train our third rifleman, I decided to research black gunpowder. And if you know your opponent that he's going to harass you during the mid game, you can actually skip this upgrade for now and start making lumber mill early, or even an arcane tower, because you will gather enough resources anyway to pick one, either black gunpowder or lumber mill, because you will have your third rifleman in time anyway. But in this case, I feel kinda safe. I don't see this undead coming that soon, so I decided to make the lumber mill edited build later. Let's continue with the replay. So This map is not really that great for Pala Rifle because like there is no like a very big camp that you can creep easy with militia. So I decided to just creep another small camp with just my riflemans, and I'm training my third rifleman and making fourth farm. Still no lumber mill, by the way. And now I see important information because now we exactly know what this that is going to do, and he is playing Criplord. And versus Criplord, Arcane Towers are very good. So I'm immediately making the first Scout Tower because I know that he will try to lay me soon. And I even started the lumber mill before my fourth rifleman. And I'm not even pulling militia to kill this small beetle. I will do it with the rifleman. And now I think I'm going to creep the lab, but the lab is kinda hard, so I may pull like 3 militia to help me. Let's see if I'm pulling militia or not. I'm making the rifleman number 4. Okay, I actually decided to creep it without militia. The good part is that piercing damage is not that strong versus medium armor, so I can basically tank with my rifles. I don't want to tank with Paladin because I cannot heal my Paladin in the early game. And as we can see, the Arcane Tower is already in the making. And remember to not go crazy with rifles, because you need just 5 rifles, basically. Because you will have access to tier 2 really fast. So you have enough you should have enough resources to make a Blood Mage soon. So remember that it's better to make Blood Mage than 1 additional Rifleman. And that's why I'm saving. So we hit our tier 2 extremely fast, and we are immediately starting Blood Mage, and we'll start long rifles. And now I have hard decision to make. Should I TP? Should I walk back? And I will tell you some things about how to play Undead in the next part. Let's talk really quickly about how to approach Undead as a Pala Rifle player. There are many ways, but with 2 rifle stack, I don't really like to go across a map and try to cancel his expo because my third rifleman will be slow. So when we go 2 rifle stack, I decide to creep level 3 quickly. And as we can see in this particular game, Undead waited a long time before approaching us, and we got our level 3. Now we have an important decision to do. Rather we walk down now or TP. And I decided to TP, but I think that because we have a lot of lumber, we didn't start long rifles yet, but they are coming. I can actually walk down, but I decided to TP, which was a bad decision, and also a small mistake by me that I wasn't attacking a guy with items, so I will not take an item from this camp. And let's see how much he has. Remember to target his hero with the Arcane Tower. Okay, I did it, but he went out of the range. And I decided, okay, he has enough. He wants to commit. And I decided to TP inside of my base. Remember to use Holy Light offensively when he's running to kill the ghoul. And I didn't succeed because I didn't have long rifles. Okay, so what do we know? We know exactly that he has the expo. Oh, this is a visual bug in the replay. But we know that he has an expo. This is we are sure about that because he opened Cryptlord Ghouls. And he's level 3 already. So, basically, and as we can see, he's a little bit of a lamer. So we need to build in enough defense to leave our base and push him. Because if our base is very fragile, very vulnerable to harass, then you can say, okay, try to go through my 2 Nerubian towers, and maybe you kill 5 of my acolytes, but I will push your base with all of my ghouls, and I have another base. So it's not good for you to trade bases like that. So we need to invest into some defense, and that's why I like to make lumber mill versus undead, even with 2 farm tech opener. We are feeling relatively safe, but like the problem is there is like nothing to creep really. And as we can see, our opponent is coming back. And don't get me wrong, you may think, oh, Saul, like he expanded, so he should have much lower army than you have. It's not true, because he had a lot of summons, he has a lot of damage output. So now the biggest mistake that you can make is not to kite. And by kiting, I mean that you are not going to, like, you should basically attack and move back, attack and move back. And you are close to your base, so you should pull militia immediately. You have enough wood. You can lose like 2-3 peasants, and pulling militia really helps you, because it gives you the front lane, it makes your kiting much better. So you don't want to lose any riflemen here. So let's see how I do. And remember to, like, now I think I should start healing my rifles, and the militia is coming, and I'm even in the range of the tower a little bit. And my opponent didn't check my items, and I have a big invul potion. And now I'm just trying to kill ghouls. Holy light in time. I'm not losing any rifles, and I killed a lot of ghouls. This is nice. He's trying to deny his own ghoul, but I got him with Holy Light, and I didn't want to save mana because I have access to Blood Mage now. So as we can see now, I'm making 2 additional towers, and we have a decision to make now. Because versus Crypt Lord is very good to add priests. But the problem is that I want to invest in some towers first. So I would rather push him without priests, because remember, we are very early in the game. We made 2 farm tech. I would rather push him without priests than like skip 2 towers to make an Arcane Sanctum, and priest, you need to research priest training to get access to the dispel. So I would rather have a defensive force in my base. And because of the lack of scouting, I think that he will go to my base again. And remember, Undead just wants to buy time. It was a little bit opportunistic what I did here, because Undead is probably just waiting for me. So remember maybe to guard your base before your towers are done, basically. And I wanted to check if there is an item in the shop, and it wasn't. And look what I did now. I don't want to buy TP, and it's actually too early to buy TP, but I bought the Staff of Teleportation, which is really good, because I can like Holy Light his ghoul maybe, and maybe the staffing will to the main will scare him away. So I can basically defend my base faster with just a small investment. So let's see how I will do. Okay. He's not afraid. I changed the aggro immediately. And yes, I'm slow with the militia pulls. And because I don't see any ghouls, remember, I killed a lot of ghouls in the early game. He was actually trading quite bad. I decided that I don't need my army to defend my base, and I can just use the Paladin with some militia help, and I can walk my army towards Undead base. Maybe to creep the shop, maybe to push his base immediately. So now just target beetles, my first guard tower is up, and it makes a lot of difference. Try to attack beetles, not the illusion. And my army is approaching his base. And now I need to run with my Paladin there. I'm not because I don't have an access to the Paladin. I'm deciding to like take it slow. I'm just attacking the Nerubian tower until my Paladin is there. And now our base is secure. We will get a 3rd tower soon. Okay, let's see what is happening here. We can see that Crypt is approaching from the top. So we are not in danger, but now when I see the ghouls, I decided to move back, but he's also waiting for his hero. And look, we are pushing him very early. And I'm not saying this like a normal timing for the undead. I don't know exactly, but he's not even on tier 2 yet. Okay? So, Altar is a good target because without Altar he can't make a second hero and he can't tech to tier 3. So, I feel really good by attacking this Altar. And of course, if you have Ghoul in the proximity, you just attack the Ghoul, right? And he almost ran away. Okay, now we have a decision to make what to do. The Divine Shield or Aura 2, and actually, even if he impales around me, I have an access to stuff, so I think I will go to Devotion Aura level 2. In a moment, let's just look what is happening in my base. So basically now I should make one additional farm and start making upgrades for my rifles because I'm just 1-0. So this is where I should invest my resources, and I missed Judge his hero. Okay, so remember that there is a timing on us, so we should start killing things. And don't have this tower is not necessary because like I see all of his ghouls now. I know that he doesn't want to lay me, so like I should cancel this scout tower, I should cancel this guard tower upgrade, I should cancel that tower, and now is a good time to either pull some militia to make shop here or to start making Arcane Sanctum for priest in my base, because even he has two bases now. I can like trade relatively good his ghouls, and when I kill buildings, like I'm dealing him some economical damage, so it's not that bad. That like I'm not diving for the acolytes because it's not possible. We need to be able to kite. But yes, I don't like what is happening in my base. But you know, no multitasking is not that easy. Now I'm going to attack the shop. And remember, when he pulls the ghouls, you need to go away. And this is what I'm doing. And remember that, like, one offensive Holy Light is nice. Maybe in this situation it wasn't perfectly good, because we don't have a lot of mana to work with. But remember, even though maybe his numbers are not that impressive right now, we still need to kite. We still need to attack and go back, attack and go back, because first of all, it's a very good habit, and second of all, if he has more mana, then we need more time to drain his mana, and we want to fight only when his like mana is very low and our mana is high. So like that's why we need a fight to take longer, and that's why we like kiting. So, like, basically the idea is move all of your rifles if he has a lot, or move only rifles that are being attacked. And look, I'm constantly repositioning my rifles, I'm constantly draining his mana, I'm not afraid of his surrounds. Now I should give mana to the Paladin. Not Holy Line in time, but it was close. And now I'm not kiting that much because my damage output is so high that I can basically kill all of his units. And look, was it really hard just to go back a little bit? And Lemes is the master of this craft, man. Lemes can kite through like entire map twice. So yes, this is basically the idea of kiting, which is very, very, very important with Pala rifles. And what I don't like is that I have too much towers in base, and I'm not making the Arcane Sanctum, and I'm not like making an Arcane Vault here to have an access to the shop. But we killed so many ghouls, we got so much experience on our heroes that this Anders, I can see that he's giving up mentally. He cannot lame us, he cannot push us, and we just kite. And remember, even though his army looks small, you still have to kite. You still need to go back. Do not commit too much. You attack and go back. Drain mana, send mana, transfer mana. And remember, even if the game is going nice, practice. Even in like this game is won, okay, I have like 90% of winning here, but I can still try to not lose any unit. And you can brag to your friends like, oh, I lost 0 units versus this guy during the push. And it's a nice thing to brag about. And look, I'm still trying to kite. Yes, I'm still trying to move my rifles. And that's it basically. And look at my macro. My macro is really bad. I should have an Arcane Sanctum here. I should have one additional farm. I should have an Arcane Vault here, man. And remember, that game went easy, but in much closer games, those details really matter. So remember, it's not that easy to micro and macro at the same time, but practice makes perfect. It was the second part of Polish Polar Rifle Academy video. Soon I have and video about the altar trick. I have video about hiding farms close to laboratories, and I will make a final video with 3 rifle stack. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe the YouTube channel because I'm going to release some videos soon. Make sure to check out my Twitch because I'm streaming Polar Rifle daily there. And it was SaulApeMan, the sitting professor of Polish Polar Rifle University. Bye bye.